Welcome to Brave Enough for Love, the podcast for anyone who knows happily ever after doesn't always happen on the first try. Meet your hosts, Chris and Kabrina, two people who've been married, divorced, figured some things out the hard way, and still decided love was worth another shot. They found it with each other. And now they're talking about everything that comes with round two, navigating careers, dealing with exes, kids and blended families, big adventures, sex, and everything in between. The messy parts, the beautiful parts, and the hilarious no one warned us about this parts. If you're into honest conversation, real laughs, and the reminder that starting over can actually be better than starting from scratch, you're in the right place. This is Brave Enough for Love. Welcome to another episode of Brave Enough for Love. I am here with my best friend, Chris, and we're going to be talking today about all the dumbass words that you are probably experiencing as you're getting into the dating world, or even if you've been dating for a while. We actually found a new one today that I'm going to let Chris tell you about before we get started. But we have a fun game that we're going to be playing because I went ahead and found a bunch of them. Some of them are ones that you'll know, some of them are ones that you won't, and I didn't actually go and read through any of them, and I just printed them out. So he has 10, I have 10, and we're going to split this into a 2-episode series because there was 40 terms that we found, and we're going to go through these 20 this time, but there's an extra bonus one that Chris found today that I don't actually know if it's in the stack, so if we do it twice, it's great. But tell us about seaguling.
Yeah. So does your phone listen to you? We've been talking about all these crazy dating terms that are out there in the world right now that weren't there when we were first in the dating world.
Mm-hmm.
And today my phone starts hitting me with seagulling. Kabrina, what is seagulling? What do you think?
So when I first looked at it, I was like, okay, what do seagulls do? And
Swoop in and poop on you and go.
no,
No.
that is every other bird though.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But when I was, one of the things that I did when I first started working at Disney was I worked in Tomorrowland right across from the Finding Nemo ride. So every morning when I would come in, you'd hear the mine. So that's what my mind first went to. And then I started to read through the article and I was like, oh, this actually does make sense. And it's kind of a funny term for it because of the fact that you're thinking about seagulls are going to take everything, even if they don't need it. They're not hungry. And it had a great line in there. I wish I had the article right in front of me, where it said something to the point of think about the person that you're, interested in, your crush, as the seagull. You're the food, or no, something like that. Something, one of them was the desire, and then one of them was you.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, everybody, because of the fact that seagulls are going to just take everything, it was talking about this idea of these people that they don't want you as a person in their life. They don't want to be in a relationship with you, but they're going to thwart you from being in other relationships too.
Yeah. You go to the beach, you have your breadcrumbs, you break up your loaf of bread and you throw it in the air, and they'll fight over the last little scrap. And that's seagulling. It's when you come in and you gather all the scraps, all the pieces, because you don't want anybody else to have any. So it's when people in the dating world are collecting. They're collecting possibilities to get them off the market. Hoarding possible partners, not committing to any one, just wanting to gather as many as you can. Seagulling.
I think we should call it pokeballing.
Balling.
Because you're trying to collect them all. You got to catch them all so that you can maybe use one of them in a fight.
Can you battle them?
You can battle other people. You can't battle your own against yourself.
Good call. Yeah. You need to have the stable so you can battle other people's pokey mates.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Now that's a game show. Think about it. All these people with their roster, they could have their roster, and that roster could fight against each other.
Be amazing.
It's basically the premise of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, though.
Yeah.
is that they collect them for you. And there was another great show like that. I think it was in Europe. And they asked a guy what he liked in a woman, like what was his things that he liked to look at for an ideal mate. And then they went and sourced like 20 people that looked almost exactly the
That's
same. So then
fantastic.
he had to actually pick on what the personality was, which I was like, that's actually genius because you think about it. And there's all these things that we get in the way of wanting to be with somebody because they're not tall enough, they're not skinny enough, they're not rich enough, they're not fill in the blank enough. And we get stuck in that instead of, oh, can I grow old with this person? Are they fun to be around? Do they ruin every holiday?
Yeah, yeah, we
Important
know about that.
questions.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of the UK, there's this fantastic dating show. Any of you that end up in the UK, it's on one of the 4 channels that's there. But it's a dating show where everybody's behind a curtain and all you see is feet. And as they answer questions, the curtain comes up and everybody's naked in it, right? And as the curtain comes higher, the person who's on the other side has to determine who they want to date as they expose people on national TV. British people are very cheeky like that.
Cheeky is a
I can't
whole.
remember the name of it, but it's
That's a
hilarious. The
great
most
choice of a
uncomfortable show in
word.
the world. Yeah. It's brilliant.
Interesting. I mean, I guess if you're wanting things to be really good in bed, that's a really great angle to come from.
I don't know. There's definitely some personality there involved as well, I would think.
I mean, for as a woman, yes, I feel like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like men, you know, they're not as worried about personality as they are, does it work?
Oh no, for a partner? Oh hell yeah. Absolutely. There's chemistry
Mhm.
always, for sure.
So I love that it's called chemistry, and then we'll get into our things. Because, with chemistry, there's certain chemicals that you put them together
Yep.
and there's a reaction.
Yep.
They turn into something else. And then there's other chemicals you put together and nothing happens. And I think a lot of times we end up marrying the first time around. We mix something together and we're like, that's chemistry. We mixed it together. And
Ah,
you're like,
shit, I got water.
what do you mix together to get water?
Hydrogen and oxygen.
Well,
Hydrogen,
okay, yes.
dihydrogen
But,
oxide.
like, is there two other things you can mix together to get water?
I don't know. Yeah, but you know how there's really cool chemical reactions, like you mix 2 things together and it makes the big foam monster
Yeah,
that comes
yeah,
out.
yeah.
And then there's other chemicals you put them together and they're just like clear,
Mm-hmm.
flavorless, odorless liquid.
Yeah, okay.
Don't get married to flavorless, odorless liquid, people.
Okay, those are the boring people that you end up just growing apart from each other and, like, nicely divorcing. Then there's the people that you get into a chemistry project with, and they're the things that you mix together, and it creates the bad odors that
Yeah,
make you
yeah,
die.
sulfur.
Yeah,
Make you die.
those are the people.
Welcome to dating in chlorine gas. Enjoy.
Those are the people that destroy your life and then leave you.
But a good chemistry is a crazy thing. I didn't real. I mean, when we met, like chemistry is big here.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm stressed and I put my nose in your hair,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, it just settles my entire system down. For 2 narcoleptics to be able to fall asleep in 3 minutes, or not narcoleptics, but insomniacs to be able to fall asleep in 3 minutes just because we're near each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's good chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you start to see all these really good reactions happen
Right.
instead of the feelings of, and I think that this might be a whole nother episode. You should just write it down on that little tablet there. Is that when you have good chemistry, you're able to have positive reactions that happen from that chemistry. Ooh, we could do a nerdy version.
We could. Our solution would be sparkly pink
Mm-hmm.
liquid. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
It's kind of like the chart
Crystals.
that you see on the shirts that says, "Can you lick it?"
The answer is almost always yes.
Oh my God. No, we should make one that says, "Can you date it?"
Can you date it? That's fantastic. Merch, y'all, merch. Okay, we got way off topic.
You get to go first
But
because
here's
you
the
made me
deal.
do this.
Here's the deal. Don't date seagulls.
No.
They're just collecting scraps. You don't eat that.
No.
All right. You ready to play the game?
I'm ready to play the game.
Okay. 1000%. Neither Kabrina or I have looked at these. So we may have no idea what they are. If you
Hmm.
do, chime in. Give us a comment. YouTube, Spotify,
Yeah, tell us the ones that we're
socials.
missing.
Do it. Here we go. And boom.
Okay, so this is future faking. Um, so future faking is when you are telling somebody that you want to have a future with them. You're giving them ideas of what they want to do with their life, what you want to do with their life, but they don't actually have any intention of doing it. It's become a really big thing that I've seen a lot of videos on, especially recently, of it's specifically women. I haven't seen any men, so if you have any examples, feel free to put them in the comments for us. Of this guy strung me along, told me everything was going to be like this. This is what he wanted our relationship to be like. And then one day he's with another person, or you find out that he's got a second family. And I have no idea how these people have time to have two families and like make babies
Lord.
with multiple people.
Unbelievable.
But the amount of stories that I see of these is out of this world. It's not like even like we're in the military and you can easily be separated. It's like people who go on business trips for 5 to 10 days at a time. And they're like 5 to 10 days over here, 5 to 10 days over there. And I'm like, how did you miss
It's like the
that?
most exhausting thing in the world.
I mean, you would think so. But maybe it's like a big hit for people, like how when people do drugs, they're like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But it's
like a huge dopamine hit.
Yeah, because you get to hide the thing and then you get to like be with, and then so it's like you're having this getaway thing that's happening here. I'm sure that there's a psychological term for this.
It would be so hard to keep that all organized.
I
Like,
just
that would destroy me.
Oh, I read a great story that was a real one because I went and did some research because I was like, there's no way that this happened.
Mhm.
Some guy married two of the same named women.
That's disturbing.
So it's like if you want to scream their name in
That's
bed,
seagulling.
it's
You got all
always
the Sharons.
yeah.
That's
I think
amazing.
the name was actually Cheryl in the story too. That's funny. So how close are we? How good?
Oh,
How
you're
good did I
dead
do?
on. I think you're cheating.
I'm not
But
cheating.
oh, so that's Kabrina's TED Talk on the difference between men's and women's social media feeds.
Mm-hmm.
Because all I get are drunk people fighting each other and
The Pink Pony Club.
Pink Pony Club and angry divorced dads.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. No.
How it sounds. He talked about vacations and moving in together, but never made a single plan. That was future faking. You were dead on.
Mm-hmm.
One giant point for you.
I think that the never making a plan we could talk about from a different angle too. But I saved
I'm gonna know none of these.
I saved that for another one.
I'm
Okay.
I'm too Gen X.
So this one is pattern dating.
I mean, I have no idea. I've never even heard the term, but I can guess that it's when you date the same people you say the same types of people in the same way, hoping for a different outcome.
Mm-hmm. So it's unconsciously choosing partners who mirror familiar but
Yeah.
unhealthy dynamics from your marriage or past relationships. And this is why we say go to fucking therapy.
Seriously.
I had a friend who was a Disney Imagineer, and his mom would always tell him, and he tells this story all the time, put your face here. And like she'd go like this, because like that's really what this is
Yeah. Wake up.
Don't make the same stupid mistake again, because especially when you've been in a marriage for multiple years, like us, I was in for 10, he was in for 20, your system and your brain gets hooked on those patterns. And if you don't go and cognitively break those patterns, you are doomed to repeat them.
Yeah. I love John Deloney, Dr. John Deloney. He's all over socials. And he talks an enormous amount about this, about trauma growing up, trauma in a relationship leaves you seeking that same type of existence because it's the only thing that feels understandable.
Yeah.
And security and peace feel unsafe
because they're unfamiliar.
You're not used to them.
Yeah.
Right. So you can go from absolute chaos to peace. And if you're unhealed, it feels terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because now you have something to lose.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, we all know, I'm sure, people who leave an alcoholic or abusive marriage and find themselves back in one.
Yeah.
trying really hard not to, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just what it, and you'll hear people say, I was just attracted to that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not because an abusive or an alcoholic or a drug abuse relationship is attractive, but it's familiar.
Yeah.
And familiar is safe even when it's unsafe.
Yeah. Well, and I think you have to think about this like kids, and this is pattern matching. And oh, there's this great video that I saved that was all about how small children, if you put five quarters in
So
front of
cool.
them and then do two rows of it, and then you spread out the five quarters on the top and you ask them which ones has more, they're going to say that the one on the top has more because they don't have the same kind of analytical brain that adults do. But
Some
when there's
adults.
trauma involved, and this is where the thing happens, is that when you have trauma involved, that analytical part is still not coming in. So now we have to go, okay, well, what do we need to do in order to basically wake ourselves up from the pattern matching? And if you start paying attention to this, it's not just going to be in dating and relationships and communication and work that you're going to start to see it everywhere.
Bad
And you're,
job, bad job, bad
yeah,
job.
and you're going to start going, oh my God, you know, that whole it's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. It really, you are the problem, not because you're the one causing the pain, but because you keep choosing to find the thing that causes you pain because it's familiar.
Seems easier,
It
even though
does.
it's 1,000 times
It
harder.
does.
Yeah.
And so you have to cognitively be like, I'm going to choose to be comfortably uncomfortable. I'm going to be like, okay, how does this feel in my body? And asking those questions of yourself consistently so that you know when something feels safe and when something doesn't for real and looking at the facts of it.
You have so many brilliant one-liners that you drop out and don't realize that you do, but you said some incredibly profound things to me about changing family dynamics, about breaking patterns in families. And that falls right into this, is
Mm-hmm.
that, if you grow up in trauma, then are you predisposed to have your own children in trauma, and you have to make a conscientious choice to redirect that train.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard. That hurts.
It is. Well, and it really does come down to breaking generational curses because it's not even like a religious thing or anything like that at this point because the science is caught up and we're finding that this is all in epigenetics. That the DNA, if you have not read the book, oh my gosh, what is it called?
The
The one.
DNA book, the red one,
I'll
I
think about
don't
it
know.
in a second. But this whole idea of the body keeps score
Oh, yeah, 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 of
is that
course.
your DNA is actually changing when things happen. So if your grandparents were in poverty and didn't have enough food, your body and how you're formed basically evolves to keep up with that. And so trauma is the same way. And when you have to go back and fix it, and I think that that's why we see so many gut problems. That's why we see so much chronic illness and all of these other things that we're starting to put the pieces together. And people that have been in the woo woo space for forever are like, no fucking, we've been saying this for
Mhm.
years. And, you start to see both of it work together. And now we have to go, okay, now that we know better, we have to do better. And the doing better has a lot of red tape and bureaucracy around it because there's a lot of big systems that are not, made for this yet.
Yeah, totally.
Your turn.
This one you're going to know.
Okay.
It's too easy. You gave me the easy ones.
No, I'm sorry. Textlationship.
Textlationship.
Textlationship. I feel like I'm in a spelling bee.
Yes, spell it.
Textla, Texlay, Tionship.
You're fantastic.
I'm just sounding it
10 out
out.
of 10 from the judge from Croatia.
Um, I'm assuming that a textlationship is when you have a relationship over text,
Hmm.
which I mean
It never evolves.
yeah, would make sense because people can fantasize in that space.
Sure.
It becomes like what's the video game with the little green guy that you can go everywhere?
Minecraft?
No,
The other green guy?
it's named after the girl who he saves.
Oh, Zelda.
Thank you. That's what it reminds me of because you have like this fantasy, and I've met so many people who have been really into that game that they have this fantasy of what reality looks like, and every nerd TV show or movie has it like this of, they've got the hot girl that they love, that
Yeah.
they're so attracted to, and then something happens and she ends up falling in love with the nerdy guy. And I feel like there's a lot of that, but we're playing behind a screen because I think cognitively we know that that's not how the world actually works in every case, even though there's a lot of studies on women will date people that are out of their league lower of what people would perceive because they will want personality more than they want looks, but that's another subject for another day. Hold on. If you're single and thinking about dating again, can we not just see what happens this time? We made a free guide called The Second Chapter Reset. It's 10 questions to answer before you love again. Because clarity is attractive and repetition is exhausting. Download it at bravenoughforlove.com/reset. Do the 10, then go flirt responsibly. Okay, back to the chaos.
I feel like I'm going to internalize that one, Kabrina. I think also people today are just scared to put themselves out there.
Oh, yeah.
Scared to meet. So the fantasy is, 20% of the way to an actual physical relationship, emotional and physical relationship, but with 0% of the risk. So if you're scared, text relationship.
I think that's where we get a lot of these people who are using AI bots to fill that need.
Creepy.
There's so many people who do that.
I know.
They're like, ChatGPT said, and I'm like, probably not who you should be quoting, but
Especially because it pattern matches after you. So you're just telling yourself bad advice, which I'm really good at without AI. I'll tell myself bad advice. Sure.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, what do you got?
Okay.
Hold on.
This one's an easy
Wine
one.
break.
Dating readiness.
I'm that's not a very good term. I'm assuming that it's your level of readiness to start dating.
Yeah, I mean, it's the honest self-assessment of whether you're emotionally available enough to date without dragging unhealed wounds into a new connection.
Okay. There you go.
The sentence that it gave us is, my therapist asked me about my dating readiness, and I had to admit I wasn't there yet. So I think the question here could be how, and this is probably a whole episode, but what are some of the things that made you realize that you were ready to date?
Okay. That's a really hard question. I wasn't angry anymore. I realized that I could coexist with my ex in this world and we could be peaceful. And no matter what led us up to that point in life, it didn't really matter. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that I started to rediscover myself. I still don't know what hobbies I have. I haven't had hobbies in years. I'm trying to figure it out. But I really like myself. I think I'm a good human. And you have to get dragged through the broken glass, the lava, where you feel like you're worthless and no good and all of those things, and do the work until you can wake up one morning and look in the mirror and be like, yeah, I'm kind of a badass human being.
Yeah.
And once I hit that, and once I was able to develop a methodology for co-parenting and peace, I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. And the other thing is that I was no longer desperate to find someone. I was real happy to just do me.
Yeah.
Which made me really available for finding the right one. That's you.
I really want to make a fun guy joke, but
go for it.
I don't know. It doesn't fit anywhere now.
A mushroom walks into a bar. The bartender says, "We don't serve your kind here." The mushroom says, "Why? I'm a fun guy."
Exactly. You're like, I think I'm a really cool person, and I wanted to go, you're a fun guy, but you launched it.
Oh, that's funny.
But no, I mean, for me, it was, I came out of my marriage because it was such a long, drawn out process to get to the divorce finish line of official, that I was completely content being alone. I had, had a short dating experience with one person and was like, that was eye-opening. and something that I absolutely needed to learn, but I think I'm good for a long period of time. And I wasn't even convinced that I would ever, there was still a lot of like, am I good enough? Is anybody ever going to want me? I have children.
Yeah, you are.
Thanks. Um, but I felt used up
Yeah.
because, when you've poured every ounce of your
Yeah.
being and carried all the mental, physical, and emotional weight of raising kids and all the things that go with that, running a business on top of that, moving across the country, packing up a house all by myself, all of those things were starting to catch up with me. And I think that to me, dating was another rock in my backpack to carry at that time. And so for me, it was like, I'm not going to do this. And honestly, if it hadn't been for my therapist being like, you have to go out there and do this, I probably would not have gone out and started dating for another year or two.
Right.
Because of the fact that I was getting, I don't know if complacent's the right word, but I was getting really comfortable
A
in,
piece.
yeah. I mean, that moment when you're like, you get to that point where you've leveled out, but you're starting to get a little bored. That's kind of where I was, and I was trying to be content in that season. And I think I got pushed out of it in the right timing, but I still would have been fine had I not gone out and dated. And I think that's really the thing is like, you always find the person when you're not looking. I
Totally the
hate
case.
that saying,
So true.
but it's so true.
It's the most true thing in the world.
As soon as
the
you,
minute you stop looking,
yeah.
the universe is like, bam.
Well, and I think it's also not having this expectation. Like there was this moment, the app that we ended up meeting on, I have been in tech and I've done app development and done feedback and all of that stuff and building all this stuff out for years. And so I was doing this and I was starting to feel terrible about myself. And I was like, I had to back the train up and go, is this working like it's supposed to work? And so one of my friends had gotten on it to go to one of the events because that was the main purpose of it. And I had paid for it. And I was like, hey, I messaged you on that app just to see if it worked. And he was like, oh, I never got it because I don't pay for it. And I was like, but it just showed it me you yesterday. And I was like, oh my God, is all these people that I've messaged on here like not even paying for the app? So you bet your bottom fucking dollar that I made an appointment on Zoomy Zoom with the people who run the app and was like, can I tell you about the psychological safety and the cognitive problems that you're causing for people and how this is ethically not a good thing that you're doing? And I literally sat there for like 45 minutes to an hour explaining line by line everything that was wrong with his app and going, and if you'd like to hire me for more consulting services.
Only Kabrina shows up to a customer support call with a 128-page deck on a slide deck on all of the problems with their algorithm.
Oh my God, I just did it to somebody else too.
Oh, you're so nerdy hot. It's not even, it's ridiculous. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
This is a cool one.
Okay, I'm excited.
Roaching.
Roaching. Okay. So cockroaches never die.
Neither do asses.
Yeah, that's another topic for another day. Um, uh, they come in packs.
Well, what do roaches do when the lights turn up?
They scatter.
Yeah. So roaching is when someone hides the fact they're dating multiple people, and
when they find out, they
you
leave.
find out when
They
they
disappear.
when you assume exclusivity, they just like.
Interesting. I
Yeah.
wonder what happens to them when they find out, like when the other women find out. There's a great movie. What is that movie where the women all find out that
Oh.
the one lady's husband is dating everybody?
I know the one you're talking about.
And they all get together and the lady.
First Wives Club? No.
No. But then there's the lady who's the blonde one, who's the lawyer.
Yeah.
And then they like totally bury him.
Yeah. Great movie. Can't remember the title.
After convincing him that he has some kind of disease and all.
We'll put it in the description.
Yeah, I cannot remember what it's
hilarious.
called. But it's so good. But, that's, I think we take for granted that that happens a lot more than we think that it does.
I can't make cognitive sense of that. Mm-hmm. We were talking about having, the whole separate lives, multiple partners in different places. life is already really complex. I look to my partner, I look to you to be a stabilizing force in that. We were pebbling each other today, and I sent you one that basically said, "Hell yeah, I want to do everything with you because you're my best friend." The minute I'm done with work, I am finding shortcuts to get home to you because the world is loud, and when we're together, everything makes sense. So, I guess maybe my brain is just wired differently, but I don't want lots of other people. I want my person.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's where life is amazing. We're building a life together. We're building cool things together. We're doing a podcast together.
Yeah. Well, and we're both extroverts, and we
Big time.
still are like, no, actually, we might be ambiverts, and we want to just be together sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Like, I love going out with my friends. I love going to big places and meeting new people and going to conferences and stuff like that. But there is something to be said about coming home and just going, like,
Yeah.
I can just be me. There is nothing that I need to figure out or hide or make up or any of those things. And like you say to me all the time, that your favorite version of me is the one without makeup.
Yeah.
The one that I don't tend to
Wake
want.
up first in the morning with your hair a little fucked up. No
Yeah.
makeup. Oh God, you're like the most beautiful woman in the world. Are you kidding me? I am the luckiest man alive that I get to roll over in the morning and say good morning to you. It is my favorite moment. And there's never been a morning, even if the alarm is going off, that we don't hit that snooze button and just snuggle up as tight as we possibly can for that extra 15 minutes.
I'm like, 2 more minutes.
Yeah, please.
I need to be in this bundle.
And I'm a very snuggly person that came from, not a whole lot of snuggles. So to find my snuggle partner in this world, ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, and I was the same way. Like, I didn't grow
That's
up
the
with it.
greatest thing in the world.
And, kids were kind of the thing that was the snuggling, to the point where you're like, oh my God, stop touching me. Please, I'm touched out. Don't touch me anymore.
Let's
But
see how many times we can touch Mom's face.
oh my God, seriously. Like my 4-year-old today was just like, can I sit on your lap? Can I do this? Can I do that? I'm like, stop putting your hands in my face. It's like, you want to drive Kabrina crazy. Okay. Speaking of children.
Yep. Gatekeeping your kids. Not, well, it could be two things. It's either not telling people that you have kids until you get further down in the relationship, or once you're in a relationship, not introducing the kids for some predetermined length of time until you're sure it's the real thing.
I don't know if gatekeeping is the right term for this.
Okay.
I think that unfortunately the dating world has kind of just like decided on certain terms.
Yeah.
Because people have seen it somewhere else, and then they're just superimposing it onto dating. I think that this is just a normal protecting thing that you should do with your children.
Okay.
So, for example, the sentence that it gave us is 6 months in and she hasn't met my kids yet. I'm gatekeeping until I know this is the real thing. And the definition is intentionally protecting your children from meeting a new partner until the relationship has proven itself stable and real.
Completely.
I think you absolutely should.
We did that. We agreed early on.
Well, and
no kids.
I had that written into our parenting plan because of the fact that you don't know what your ex-spouse is going to do. You don't know if they're going to go like hurry up and go shack up with somebody that never had children, doesn't understand anything about raising a family. And then you have to go, okay, well, we've been divorced 2 weeks and they're already with somebody. And you don't want them introducing your kids to them at that point. And it happens all the time. Like, I've had people that I've known that, whether it was a cheating situation or not is hard to tell for these specific situations. But, they're 2 weeks, 3 weeks out of the divorce and they're already living with somebody else and the kids are coming over.
Yeah.
And so now we have to have that conversation with everybody of, did we protect the children? Because that's really the whole point of divorce, is not really to leave the ex-partner, unless you don't have kids. If you're one of the people that don't have kids, ignore this next sentence. It's to create a contract that separates assets and protects the children and gives them what they need that they had in a house with the mom and the dad together.
Yeah.
And when you look at it like that, then you have to go, well, as inconvenient as it is, that there were times that we wanted to be able to do stuff together, and my kids were there, your kids were here. We had to go, no, we're going to wait.
For sure.
And, I think that both of our exes did as well. And so it was one of those things of we were trying to respect the kids and give them that space because they're dealing with this too. They're trying to transition.
Absolutely.
And every time, even if you've been divorced for a long time and you meet somebody, even bringing them into the situation 2 weeks in, like I had long conversations with my kids way before you were ever even in the picture of, well, mommy, if you meet somebody and they don't like us, but they pretend that they like us when you're around, are you going to believe us when we say something? Yeah. And they've never even seen that, which is crazy. And I was like, of course, we're going to have conversations about this. And I want to make sure that everybody gets along. And I want them to love you too, because that was such a big thing of if you can't. One of my old friends said this to me. They said, your kids are like and I've known this person since I was in 8th grade. It was like, all of your kids are a little version of you. They're a piece of you in a different way. And if they can't love your kids, they can't love you.
Yep.
And that to me was such a relief, but also oh, okay, that's really an interesting concept that I had never heard from anybody. And so when you have somebody who, this specific person for me, had been in my life when I was younger and that whole they disappear for 10 years and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, I actually do need friends in my life.
Yeah.
And you've had this happen too, where you haven't talked to people for forever and all of a sudden you're like, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
You have some dating advice for me?
Yeah. I got that big time. People are like, divorce advice.
Yeah. And like we talked about in the last episode.
Good Lord.
There was people that were reaching out to me. There was people that are reaching out to you. And for a lot of the people that are listening, I'm sure that you guys have had people reach out to you too. And, it'd be interesting to kind of pull together all the questions that people ask of people when they first get divorced.
Yeah, make a guide.
Yeah.
We need a hot sheet.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the reasons why I've always said, and I've said on this podcast, that I would only seriously date someone with kids. Because you and I were so elegant in the way that we navigated this. We made an agreement. We understood each other's priorities. We always said kid first,
Even when it's really fucking hard to do kid first and you're like, it's the other person's responsibility today.
I know. But, and as a result, we've always been so collaborative after we met each other's kids and they met each other and we became, a blended family. We've always been so collaborative in it. If you're going to date somebody with kids and you don't have them, or you do and you're going to date somebody without, navigate these things first, because kids never get easier. Coming from somebody who, has teenagers, kids will always be part of the joy and part of the confusion or the part of the evolution of life. So that's something you have to talk about right at the beginning.
Well, and they do get easier when they're their own adult and they're no longer living with you.
For sure.
And so there are situations where you'll find people who have kids, but they're much older.
Yeah, if they're 20 and 22, you're good.
Yeah, and then it's almost like dating somebody without kids. And so I made that mistake and did date somebody who had older kids and I had my younger kids, and it was, you knew it was never going to work out. But I think especially in these situations when you are in the process of healing and figuring shit out, that you don't realize as quickly, like your reflexes are not as fast as they would be. And I think that the faster you heal, you know, those people that everybody knows that one person who just says what they mean and gets what they want and just manifests the fuck out of everything in their life. And they just seem like they're the person that's on top. And it's because they have clear boundaries, they know what they want, and they don't take anything outside of what is aligned with them for anything.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really the place that you want to be of like, fuck all this. If it doesn't feel good to me, I'm not going to do it.
For real. Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing is that you're in a really sensitive time and you don't realize that everything feels, everything feels like it is progress when sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
And the next thing around the corner might be the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think a lot of this is gatekeeping yourself too. You know, you have to walk in with some reservations and really view the situation with a clear and healed head.
Yeah. I had a mentor who was a business mentor, but he used dating as an example one time. And I probably listened to this podcast episode 100 times just for this one line in it, where he's like, you know, holding on to the old thing can make it to where you miss the right thing. And he had a friend who had, he was talking to him about his relationships, and he's like, well, I'll stop dating this girl when I meet the next one. He was already done with that girl, but it felt good enough to have that person. It's kind of like, you know, when you go to a restaurant that's, it's okay. I eat it because it's food. But the restaurant that you really like is next door. And so instead of just going fucking next door and paying the extra $2 or $3 to get the stuff you actually want, you stick with the shitty stuff because you're already there.
Right. Good analogy.
Thank you.
All right, hit me.
I don't want to hit you, but
wait, is it my turn or your turn?
I think it's your turn.
Oh my God.
You're going to love this next one, though.
All right, here we go. Pocketing.
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 So if I put it in my pocket, I'm hiding it. So is it that they have to, that they're like putting things aside? I can put multiple things in my pocket.
Okay.
So is it a Pokemon game? Are they like collecting but not telling?
They are not collecting. What they're doing is they're putting you in their pocket and telling no one.
Oh.
How many people have you heard that are like, yeah, I've been dating this person for like 6 months and, you know, oh, do you know their family? No. Do you know any of their friends? No. Do you know where they work? No. You know, like.
Interesting.
It's when you hide somebody, when you hide a relationship in your pocket, nobody is exposed to it. Nobody knows about it. You don't mingle your pocket relationship with your other life. Which to me is a giant red flag.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I mean, I was so excited. We're like, yay, we get to be, you know, social official. Like, I want to show you off to the world and talk about how cool you are.
Yeah. Well, and I think, especially if you're not a person who posts on social and you're not like a social media person, if they are a social media person and they don't want to post about you, that's a red flag.
Huge.
Because as soon as I go to and get a cute coffee where they do anything fancy on it, I'm gonna take a fucking picture of it. I'm sorry, I'm one of those people, and I'm gonna write about it.
Yeah.
Probably because I just had a 20-minute conversation with the barista on top of it. So those are gonna be things that I'm talking about. So if I'm doing things with my person and then not talking about them, you should wonder.
Something's wrong.
Yes. And I see this a lot with the Instagram thing of like people will have multiple Instagrams and some of them will be hidden from people. And I have a friend who we've talked about a couple of times who he will be like, oh, well, they had a second Instagram and I happened to find it by accident. And then I found out that I was actually blocked on this thing or I saw it on somebody else's phone. And I'm like, oh my God, that's just so much work.
Seriously.
I'm like, I can't even manage my business Instagram and my personal Instagram. I don't want to have more than that.
But all of this stuff seems so exhausting to me. Like, if you don't want to be seen with somebody, don't date them. You're just filling some broken little void in your psyche at that moment.
Yeah.
Like, get healed. Find somebody you want to be seen with.
Mm-hmm.
You and I, when we go out, we'll wear the brightest, craziest
We're
stuff
like,
we
we're
can
here,
find. Yeah,
motherfuckers.
yeah. We're like, kick the door down. I mean, we were at a scholastic event, literally dancing like morons, with all the other beige clothed adults staring at us like we were crazy people. But you know what? That made me really happy.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Screw everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean,
I don't mind being seen with you. It's my favorite thing in the world.
it's so fun, and people are like, "Oh yeah, that's you. You're the person," and you start to get people that understand who you are, and you know, that's when people go, "Are you okay?" Like if you're not doing those things.
We're professional shell breakers. We break people out of their shell.
Hmm.
We make stupid things happen, and it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, we don't even need alcohol. We just need to be like a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of
Yeah, yeah.
color.
We make all sorts of crazy things happen. Like, you want shit stirred? Here's the spoon.
Mm. Mm.
It's gold.
Oh my God, that's such a great. That's gonna be a T-shirt.
T-shirt.
Come back to the podcast.
Merch.
Professionals. What did you call it?
Professional shit stirrer.
Yeah. I
We
think we should have a spoon.
should totally have a spoon, yeah.
Okay, you're gonna love this one. Ready?
Hit me.
I've never heard this, but I think
Okay.
that it's very accurate.
Co-parenting
Co-parenting chemistry.
Yeah, that we were just talking about that.
Mhm.
When and this is the really interesting thing. You don't have to like your ex. You don't have to have, enormous amounts of respect. You can be angry. You can be all of these things, and you can still have really good chemistry.
Well, no, it's like it's saying. So this is referring to the compatibility a new partner needs, not just with you, but with your parenting values and your kids' world.
Oh, this is
So
fresh partner co-parenting,
yeah,
not
so
ex co-parenting.
I think that there's a lot to be
Hugely
said,
important.
and we don't actually call it co-parenting because I
We're a
don't.
blended
It
family.
doesn't feel like the right term.
Mm.
But I think that co-parenting chemistry of like, can we parent the same way?
I don't even know that we have to parent the same way. Do we parent respectfully to each other's wishes?
Yes. But I think that there's a lot of this.
And we are very similar.
Well, and I had multiple men go, well, how am I going to discipline your kids?
Yep.
And I'm like, we're not even officially dating. And you're asking
It's
me
a first
this
date,
question.
buddy. It's a first date.
Yeah. And you're sitting here going, you aren't. It's in my parenting plan that I am the final say on everything. Now, of course, if your kid's running into the street or touching a hot stove, you should say no. These are just like if it was anybody's kid anywhere. I do this at the park if I see a kid doing something stupid.
Of course.
But when it comes down to disciplining children that are not yours by birth, you have to be very careful. Because you don't want to get yourself in hot water, and you have to have these conversations ahead of time of like, what is the right thing to do? What feels good to you? Why or why not? And it's not going to be a comfortable conversation all the time because you're going to fuck it up. And it's going to be something where you learn from it and you don't do it again, or you change the way that you have expectations around it, because everybody comes with this different lens of how they grew up. And a lot of us got married really young, so we were still growing up with the person that we were married to. And now you kind of get to be fully formed, which sounds really nice, except for fully formed. You know, when you when you put a piece of furniture together inside of your house, and then you move, and you realize that you can't get that stupid motherfucker out the door, and you have to take it apart. That's the process that we're in.
And then you put it back together and now it wobbles a little bit. So yeah, glue it.
Yeah.
Therapy is the glue. It's the super glue that puts it all back together.
Yeah, but then you can never get it apart again.
I mean, all of these things that we're talking about, it's communication. That's what it is. It's how do you figure this stuff out? My God, you talk about it.
Yeah.
The whole concept of somebody saying to a mom, how do I discipline, on a date,
Sometimes
how am I going to discipline? How am I going to
meeting
discipline your
people.
children? It's like, oh my God, get out of here, you creep.
You're like, check, please.
That's a long and detailed conversation
That's why
about
you go
how
on
we
coffee
want
dates.
to interrelate with each other.
Yeah.
Crazy. You have got the craziest stories.
I do. Yeah.
I love your stories. I'm a guy. My stories are fairly simple.
Oh, this one's easy.
All right, come on. Red flag.
Red flags. We have three kind of, we've probably got more than three flags.
We need to do an entire episode on red flags.
Mhm.
The ones that you don't know exist when you're 20 to 29 getting into a relationship. We are going to be
Mhm.
your lifeguard, and we're going to put all the red flags up and show you how to avoid them. Don't drown in the water today. There's red flags everywhere.
What's the purple flag?
Um, I don't. What purple flag?
The purple
On the
flag.
beach?
Yeah. It's
Party?
no, a purple
Oh.
flag on the beach is when there is sea life that is
Oh,
poisonous
like
or like
jellyfish. There's a jellyfish
Yeah.
flag. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because jellyfish are fabulous.
they're something. They're not fun to step on. But so red flag is anything that is like the gives you the heebie-jeebies of like that didn't feel quite right, or oh they said something. What does it say exactly?
It says a warning sign in a person's behavior or words that signals potential problems ahead in a relationship. The moment he talked badly about every single ex on the first date, that was a red flag.
That is a huge red flag because
Why?
because if you cannot realize that you were part of the problem too, you will never take responsibility for anything. I think that you can have a really shitty relationship and still realize that you had a hand in it.
For sure.
And this was really hard for me, especially when I first started therapy, because I think I said this on the last episode. My therapist was like, if you were doing all these things and I was married to you, I wouldn't do anything either.
Hmm.
And so, you have to realize that sometimes you're not necessarily hurting somebody, but you're enabling them.
Yeah.
Which is still part of the problem.
And let's also say if you're talking about all your exes on your first date, that's probably a really bad way to lead.
Yeah.
Maybe shut up and ask about the person you're dating, you're on the date with. Find out more about them.
Yeah. Well, it's like what you were saying earlier. This is classic Taylor Swift. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Reals.
And I think a lot of people want to play stupid games in dating because it's fun and it's exciting. And you just have to remember if this is somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with, do you want to be playing fucking games forever?
Yeah.
These are the games you want to play. The board games.
Right.
Not the games of like, are they going to leave me tomorrow? Am I going to come home and they're going to be sleeping with somebody else in my bed? Is this going to be something that's detrimental to my kids? You don't want to be asking those questions.
Do you have full house? Oh, look, I got herpes, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. This is why we ask for STD tests.
Yeah, big episode on that. Speaking of red flags. Yeah, saying no to an STD test.
Mm-hmm. That is a huge red flag because if you're going to stick your body in my body, I'm going to make sure it's clean first.
Damn Skippy. Yep. All right.
Okay.
Red flags. Oh, why don't we I'm just going to skip ahead here.
What? Oh,
because
green flags.
Green
okay.
flags. Yeah.
Fine. Okay. Healing hiatus.
Oh, hiatus is a ancient word from the Far East. That is no.
I thought you were going to tell me something really interesting.
A healing hiatus has got to be a break from healing. A hiatus is a break. It's a moment away from. So either you're taking a break from dating to heal, or you're tired of healing and you want to be a mess. So you take a hiatus from the process of healing to go and screw your life up again.
So is this like the AYR song?
I'm guessing it's the first one. Yeah, I'm a mess.
Yes, I'm a mess with an S on my chest.
I'm guessing it's the first one. You are taking a hiatus from dating.
Yes.
In order to heal.
It's an intentional period of not dating after a divorce to do the inner work before bringing yourself into a new relationship.
Yeah.
And so I don't even think that you need necessarily the word healing. I think it's just taking a hiatus from all of it.
Should it be a hiatus?
Oh my God, yes.
You like that? That's another shirt. Yeah, the merch is coming out tonight. A hiatus.
Oh, that's a great one. We're going to have to launch the shop before we put this episode up.
Hiatus.
Hiatus. That's so funny. Oh my God, this one's so
I got
good.
all the easy ones. You stuck the deck, so you have the easy ones. What is the X?
Oh my God. So the kids will say this. That's the ick.
The X.
There's a I think it's a Saturday Night Live
Yeah.
where one of the guys who's been on there for a long time, he like gets dressed up like a girl and he's like, ick.
Yeah.
And there was a Taylor Swift one that they did with it was Jimmy Fallon and her, and they were like, ick or ew. It was ew, ew.
You like the Valley Girl one? Ew.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. So the icks is like they do something. Oh, we have a friend. And she had a boyfriend who was the icks.
We do?
Oh, yeah. He came over for Thanksgiving. And she's like the prettiest woman in this whole world, and she just doesn't know it. She's so pretty. She's so smart. She's so funny. When I first met her, I was like, oh my God, I wish I could be you. And
this guy sat at our dinner table and ate his boogers.
He sat there and ate his boogers at our dinner table and then blew bubbles with his mouth. And was older, a little bit older than me, or like right around my age.
Yeah.
Mid 30s
exactly,
at some point. And one minute he's standing at my kitchen counter talking down to me because he doesn't realize that I've been in tech for a decade because he's an engineer. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So you have to run circles around these motherfuckers. But simultaneously sitting at my dinner table and eating his boogers. Like he's 4. That, my friends, is the ick.
Booger eating in general is the ick.
Yeah. I hope you listen to this podcast episode.
Booger eater.
Seriously. That's just what I call him.
You know what? If you can get to your mid-30s and still publicly eat boogers, you're either doing something really right or everything wrong. I'm not sure which one.
Everything wrong. Everything.
Yep.
You should not eat your boogers.
No,
so gross.
God, that's disgusting.
Ugh.
I mean, I didn't do it when I was 4. I'm not going to do it as an adult.
You smack their hands when they do that.
Yeah, right. You should have gotten a bit. No.
Oh my God. When I first had kids, they were like, what are you going to do when they eat their boogers? Because, you have these conversations in like mom groups and moms and stuff. Yeah. And I was like, nope, that's a spankable offense. That shit does not fly in my house. And then you can't like catch them enough. And so I'm like, no, stop that. Put your face right here.
Exactly.
Okay. That's it for part 1. We went really long in this one, and we want you to get all that you can out of these. So come back next week for part 2 and find out those last 10 dating terms that you might be not understanding and how we talk through them. So we'll see you next week on Brave Enough for Love. That's a wrap on this episode of Brave Enough for Love. Follow the show wherever you listen so you don't miss what's coming next. If this episode made you laugh, think, or text your best friend immediately, go ahead and share it. Send it to someone who needs it. Drop your questions in the Spotify Q&A or find us on TikTok and Instagram. We're there and we're talking back. We'll be back soon with more love, more laughs, and probably more tea. Stay brave.